Bigger Flip Show. My name is Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping houses, or if you're already doing it, how to do it bigger. It still says live video starting. I don't know if it started or not, but I'm going to go anyway. So, what I get a lot of times is people thinking that somehow we're going to convince a seller that their house is worth less than they think it is. That's never going to happen, right? You can't go and bring facts and figures and say, look at these comps in your area, and these houses are nicer, and yours is worse, and you need all this work. That never works, ever. If you think you're going to convince sellers that their house is worth less than they think, you are cruising for a bruising. It's not going to work. What you have to do is, first of all, you need to be in a situation where the person has some kind of pain associated with keeping the house. And if you're just calling properties that are listed for sale on the MLS, or if you're calling the phone book, for example, you're not going to find people that really have a lot of. I mean, you're probably not going to find people that have a lot of problems. But if you call lists of people that have likely to have either problems with themselves financially or problems with the house, then you find people that may have a motivation to sell. And the idea is not that you're going to convince them your house is worth less, but that selling the house to an investor is worth giving up some of their equity. So, what I say to sellers all the time, I must have said this 1,000 times, listen, I do two things here. I buy properties that need work, I fix them up, and I sell them. And I'm also a traditional realtor. If you want to squeeze every dollar out of this house, you should list it. Just understand the downside to listing it is number one, you may have to make repairs to it if it's in terrible condition. Number two, you're going to have to be in a buyer's timeline who may close sooner than you want or later than you want. Number three, you're going to have to show it multiple times, a lot of times. People are going to be coming in and out of the house. Number four, you're not really in control because every standard buyer has a mortgage contingency and they can just flake out on you at the last second. And they can say sorry. And that's happened to me half a dozen times. So if you want to sell it to an investor, you're going to get less money, but I'll close whenever you want. I have no contingencies in my contract. I'm not going to show the property more than once, maybe twice, but probably not, just to get some contractors in here. And basically, I'm never going to change my price unless something comes up that completely comes out of nowhere. I'm not changing my price. So if you want the certainty and the convenience and the control that an investor brings, then I'm your man. You sell it to me. You're going to get less money, and they understand. There's a trade-off, right? And it may be just because they had a bad experience with a seller, with a buyer before who flaked out on them. It doesn't matter. But the point is, if they don't have a problem that you can solve by buying it at a discount, you're not going to sell it to them, and that's fine. But the idea that you're going to convince people that their house is worth less than they think it is, that is a complete waste of time. Thank you very, very much for watching.